seen in your mind where you are now? Is it daytime or is it nighttime? And are you inside or outside?
Inside.
How old are you about?
6.
How do you feel?
My heart can breathe.
So we're going to use hypnosis, Megan, to make you feel completely different, to help you understand. It's always the same thing. How did I get to be the way I was? And can that understanding be powerful enough to change? And the answer is absolutely yes. Understanding is power. So I'm going to show you how, where, why, when you've got all these fears and issues, and then we're going to remove them so they won't bother you anymore. It's not like we're going to extract them, but in a way we sort of are. We're going to get you to realize that that will never be you again. That was then. And while that wasn't right, it doesn't have to affect your life anymore. Does that make sense? So hypnosis is not scary. In fact, it's amazing. It doesn't send you to sleep. It actually wakes you up. The way to go into hypnosis is always to look up like that. Keep your eyeballs up, close the lids. You go into what's called an alpha brainwave, where you're much more receptive. You know, to just have a look back at what happened and then let it go. So, look at my finger and thumb. Just look up as high as you can. Keep your eyeballs up, but close your eyelids down. And if you see that you got REM straight away, so that's a sign that you're going to be a perfect subject. You already passed the first test, so you're going to find this all easy. So look at my finger and thumb. Look up, keep your eyes glued to my finger and thumb. Breathe in, breathe out. Take another deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. And just one final time, breathe in, keep your eyeballs up, keeping your eyeballs up. As you exhale, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. Just close your eyelids down as your eyelids shut down. I want you to drop your chin just a fraction so you feel that looking down sensation. You're looking down 10 steps. And right now you're moving on to step 10 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9 and 8. You can see your feet, hear your feet, feel your feet treading each step as you go deeper, deeper, deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking steps 7 and 6, going deeper. With every number I count, you're going deeper. With every sound you hear, even the sound of your heartbeat is taking you deeper and further into powerful, profound healing hypnosis. You're taking step 5 and 4, going deeper. You're taking step 3 and 2. And every sound and noise and movement around you is carrying you deeper, deeper, deeper into hypnosis. You're taking step 1, just go deeper, deeper, deeper. And hypnosis is really about how good you are at accepting suggestions. As a child, you accepted all kinds of suggestions you didn't like. You were told what to wear, what to do, how to be. And you really didn't have any choice. But I'm going to show you how good you are at accepting suggestions. I'm going to show you. He was going to show me that you are really good at making suggestions real. Because when I know that, and when you know that, you're going to give yourself different suggestions, much better ones, and make them real. So I want you to just stretch your arms out like so. Lock your elbows, close your hands. And I want you to imagine in your left hand, Megan, you're holding an enormous red fire bucket that's filled with about 50 pounds of heavy, wet sand. And straight away you'll feel that your left arm is pulling down. Your left arm is becoming lower. You can feel the weight of that bucket pulling your left arm down as your left arm gets heavier and heavier and heavier. In this right arm, you're holding an enormous helium-filled balloon, which is absolutely weightless, lighter than air, so weightless that your right arm has no choice but to float up, lift up, pull up. And as your right arm is pulling up, your left arm is getting heavier and heavier, pulling down. The weight of that bucket is in your left wrist, in your shoulder, in your elbow, pulling your left arm down. But your right arm feels so weightless. It's floating up, moving up, traveling up, lifting up higher, higher, even higher still. And you're aware of something impressive. One arm is weightless, one arm is way down because of one thing, your ability to accept a suggestion and then make it real. And you're going to notice this even as I ask you, try to lift up your left arm and find it's incredibly, impossibly heavy. So heavy, the more you try to lift it, the more the weight of it pulls it back down again. And now try to push this right arm. I know it's like trying to push a beach ball underwater. The more you try to lower your right arm, it springs up, pops up, and keeps traveling upwards. It refuses to go down. It insists on going up higher, higher, higher. And now let go of the bucket, let go of it, and go deeper, deeper, deeper. That's perfect. And you can see something that you should be very proud of. You are really good at making suggestions. Real, of course, when you're that little girl with a controlling father, you didn't have a choice. Today you get to choose to let go of that. So before we let go of it, we need to have a little look at it. Not a big thing. I'm going to have you look at a few scenes. I want you to remember something important. You are going to review, not relive. You cannot relive anything. You can only review it. And since it already happened to you, all you're doing today is dealing with a memory. And dealing with a memory, far from hurting you, can sometimes be powerfully freeing. I'm going to go back to one scene to do with being controlled and feeling trapped. And your brilliant mind knows exactly where you need to go and take a look at. So right now on the count of 5, you are going back to a vivid, vital, crucial, powerful scene that's significant to do with having no power, being dominated, being controlled, and feeling stuck, trapped, helpless, hopeless. You are becoming younger, smaller, lighter, shorter as your brilliant mind takes you back to a vivid, vital, crucial scene to do with being controlled, being restricted, feeling helpless, hopeless, powerless. Just be there as I tap your head. The scene in your mind where you are now. Is it daytime or is it nighttime?
Night.
And are you inside or outside?
Inside.
How old are you about?
6.
And here's the only question that matters. The other's really not that important at all. This is the only question that matters, Megan. In this scene where you are 6, what are you doing, seeing, feeling? What are you experiencing? When you see what you saw, as I click my fingers and your ears open, you can hear exactly what you heard. Tell me what you're seeing, hearing, and feeling in this scene.
I'm scared.
I'm scared because?
I'm hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Running away.
Mm-hmm. And we say, I'm scared, I'm running away, I'm hiding because, start and finish that sentence. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm running away.
I'm running away.
I'm hiding.
I'm hiding.
Because?
He's looking for me.
Mm-hmm. Who is he?
My father.
So he's looking for you. What does that mean to a little girl of 6 that your father's looking for you?
I feel like he's hunting me.
Mm-hmm. You feel like he's hunting you. And when he finds you, what will happen? Remember, you're reviewing this, even with fascination. I know it's sad, I know it's painful. I want you to look at it with fascination. That little girl feels hunted. That's a very interesting, she feels hunted. And when he finds that little girl, what will happen?
He's going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm. He's going to hurt you because?
I did something wrong.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do that was so wrong?
I can't. Disobeyed him.
And do you know how you disobeyed him?
I can't see it.
And that's not because the children don't know that, oh, I put the milk bottle on the table and it made a ring, or I filled up the bath and I let it run and it overflowed. I fed the cat and the wrong food and it was sick. Because when you're a little kid, you don't know, and that's what's so confusing. You're being punished for something you've done and you don't even know what it is. So let's go back to another thing to do with this same feeling of getting into trouble, getting physically hurt, and not even knowing what it is that you're supposed to do to avoid that. So on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, your brilliant mind is taking you back to another vivid, vital, crucial, powerful scene, all to do with how, where, why, when you got this feeling of being oppressed, being controlled, being dominated, not being able to be free and have free will, and how much that angered you, but you couldn't even express it. You're going right back to a scene, all to do with all of those feelings right now. Just be there as I click my fingers. It's rather like you've switched on a television set or your computer. The picture's warming up. You are right in the middle of that screen. This scene you're in now, Megan, is it daytime or nighttime?
It's night.
Are you inside or outside?
Inside.
On your own, or is anybody with you?
He's there.
He's there. How old are you about?
14.
And I want you to describe exactly what it is you are doing, seeing, feeling as I count to 3. On the count of 1, 2, 3, your ears are wide open. You can hear exactly what's being said. And remember, you're here with me. You're completely safe. You're simply reviewing a scene that caused you a lot of pain. You're reviewing it. You are not reliving it. You can tell me all about it. I want you to tell me what's happened to that girl of 14.
He's telling me I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You're stupid. You're stupid.
How does it feel to be told you're stupid at just 14?
Feels true.
Mm-hmm. And why does it feel true?
Because he knows.
Mm-hmm. He knows. How does he know?
He knows everything.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, if he knew everything, he might know not to tell his own daughter of 14 that she's stupid, don't you think? If he was that smart. Do you think a smart father who knows everything would know that you don't say to a kid, your own kid, you're stupid over and over again? Because I don't think he knew everything at all. I don't think he knew how to raise you properly. Because a good, loving father, even in moments of annoyance, would not go, you're stupid, 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 over and over again. But you see, that's the control he had on you, that you believed he was always right. And when one person is right, the other person has to be wrong. So stay in that scene. He tells you you're stupid and you believe him because he's made you feel over the years that he's right. And if he's right, that must mean you're wrong. Is that right? What else is going on in that scene?
He's just towering over me. He's behind me. I feel like he's watching me all the time.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel to be watched all the time?
It just feels like I can't even breathe.
You can't even breathe, that's right. So I want you to imagine you're looking in this hand and you're holding just 2 scenes. It's okay, just let that go now. Just let that go. It's a scene of many, many scenes. The story of your life being oppressed, being judged, being intimidated. We now call this coercive control. It's been made illegal for all the right reasons. I want you to imagine you're holding some snapshots in this hand. The one where you're 14 and your father is towering over you, can't even breathe as he tells you that you're stupid, 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 and you believe him. When in fact the person who's stupid here is not you, it's him, because that is a stupid thing to do, to tell a child, your own beautiful daughter, that she's stupid over and over again. And the other is a little girl who's hiding because she knows her dad is going to find her, hunt her, punish her for doing something, and she doesn't even know what she's done, but she disobeyed him. So those 2 scenes are enough for you to look at. And in this scene today is a picture of you today. Beautiful, clever, smart, gorgeous, kind. And yet, the beautiful, kind adult you is very ruled by these scenes. So if you had ticker tape running between your hands like they have in Times Square, and it's explaining how these scenes in your past have led to all the issues you're going through today, reacting to control, getting angry, people tell you what to do, feeling that you've got to be perfect and good all the time. I know how these scenes caused you today, but I want you to tell me. Tell me how those scenes, those 2 and others just like them, caused you to be the way you are today.
Feel unworthy. Feel inadequate. Feel I can't go after what I want to go after.
I want you to say, I feel unworthy, inadequate. Repeat after me, I feel unworthy.
Feel unworthy.
I feel inadequate.
Feel inadequate.
I can't go after what I want.
Can't go after what I want.
Because, finish that, because
I just feel like I'm unworthy.
I want to say because I was made to feel unworthy.
I was made to feel unworthy.
It happened so much.
It happens so much.
It's all I know.
It's all I know.
It's familiar to be made to feel unworthy.
It's familiar to be made unworthy.
And not familiar to feel worthy.
And not familiar to feel worthy.
So I want you to imagine going back to that scene, and I want you to just look at that little girl of 6, and I want you to go, that's not me.
That's not me.
Because if you went home today and your father hunted you down and said, I'm going to hit you, wouldn't you call the police or walk out of the house? So that's not really you, is it? And at the age when if your father said today, you're stupid, you might go, you know what, Dad? I think you might be stupid because that's a really stupid thing to do to your own smart kid. Isn't that right? He wanted to be a doctor, but he told you were stupid. He knew that wasn't true. He wouldn't have wanted you to be a doctor if he thought you were stupid. So it sounds like he was the stupid one. Isn't that right? I want you to imagine your father's right in front of you, and I want you to say, Dad, I need to ask you a question. Why did you try so much to control me and make me successful and then tell me I was stupid? Couldn't you see how counterproductive that was? So imagine he's there and say out loud, Dad, you tried to mold me and shape me.
You tried to mold me and shape me.
And make me a doctor.
And make me a doctor.
You're obsessed with how my life would be.
You're obsessed with how my life.
And then you told me I was stupid, stupid, stupid.
You told me I was stupid, stupid, stupid.
So you were undoing all the work you were doing. And that makes me think that you're a bit stupid.
That makes me think that you're a bit stupid.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
I thought you were so smart.
I thought you were so smart.
I thought you knew everything.
I thought you knew everything.
But looking at it now,
looking at it now,
I don't think you were very smart at all.
I don't think you were very smart at all.
Because you really made me live a regimented life.
Because you really made me live a regimen.
And it caused me so much pain.
It caused me so much pain.
And my mother too.
And my mother too.
And you could see what you were doing.
And you could see what you were doing.
And you still did it.
You still did it.
And I'm now doubting how smart you really are.
I'm doubting how smart you really are.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
Ask him, what made you behave like that?
What made you behave like this?
It's not loving.
It's not loving.
It's not kind.
It's not kind.
And it doesn't work.
And it does not work.
So why did you do it?
So why did you do it?
As I click my fingers, you can switch places. Become the father. Look out at your beautiful daughter and tell her the truth. Tell her the truth. What is it about your life that made you behave like that?
Because I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I want the best for you.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to have everything that I didn't.
Mm-hmm. I want you to go back and say, no, that's not love.
It's not love.
Love is kind.
Love is kind.
Love is understanding.
Love is understanding.
And love is letting someone be who they want to be.
Love is letting someone be who they want to be.
I don't accept that answer.
Don't accept that answer.
I need a better one.
I need a better one.
What made you treat me like you owned me and could mold me and shape me as if I was a thing?
What made you own me and shape me like I was a thing?
What made you think that was okay?
What made you think that was okay?
Switch places, be the father, look again at your daughter and tell her the truth. Why did you act like she was your property? Just tell her the truth.
I own you.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
You're mine.
Mm-hmm. I want you to go on. I want you to be the father and say, I've always felt so inadequate my whole life.
I've always felt so inadequate my whole life.
I thought if I could make you perfect,
If I could make you perfect,
I wouldn't be so inadequate.
I wouldn't be so inadequate.
And that's why I tried to make you perfect.
And that's why I tried to make you perfect.
Even though I kind of knew it wasn't possible.
Even though I kind of knew it wasn't possible.
I needed you to be perfect.
I needed you to be perfect.
To hide all my
To
flaws.
hide all my flaws.
And it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
Does that sound, Megan, true or false?
True.
Of course it's true. People who try to have perfect children are always saying, well, I'm a bit rubbish, but I'll have a perfect kid and then I can convince the whole world I'm perfect, but they can never convince themselves. And there is no perfect. In the race to be perfect, there's no finishing line because your father is like all of us, flawed, having flawed relationships with flawed people, but he wanted you to be perfect. He said, enter that race and you can never even reach the finishing line, and he kept you there for a long time. And I want you to say to him, I don't have to be perfect for you.
I don't have to be perfect for you.
I thought you were
I
perfect.
thought you were perfect.
I had to live up to your
To
expectations.
live up to your expectations.
But I can see now that you're deeply flawed.
But I can now see that you're deeply flawed.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
I'm free now.
I'm free.
Your flaws are setting me free.
Are setting me free.
I don't need to live up to any expectations.
I don't need to live up to any expectations.
Don't need to live up to yours.
I don't need to live up to yours.
It's not my job to make your life better.
It's not my job to make your life better.
It's not my job to make you look better.
It's not my job to make you look better.
My job is to live my life on my terms.
My job is to live my life on my terms.
And when I was a kid, I didn't have a voice.
When I was a kid, I didn't have a voice.
But I have one now.
But I have one now.
And I can tell you anything I like.
I can tell you anything I like.
I can tell you that you're wrong.
I can tell you that you're wrong.
You're not as smart as you think you are.
You're not as smart as you think you are.
And you don't own me.
And you do not own me.
And I owe you nothing at all.
And I owe you nothing at all.
What else would you like to say to him? Now that you can see the truth, now that the scales are falling away from your eyes and you can see the truth, an inadequate man thought, well, I'll make my daughter perfect and then it will hide my flaws. And that was a heavy price he put on you, but you're free now. You're free enough to go, yeah, I can look at that. It was sad. I can look at it even with fascination and see, wow, I thought he was so smart, but perhaps not. So when you look over and around, look over and around and through the truth. Look over it, look around it, look right through it. And realize that you never disappointed your father, ever. He was deeply, deeply disappointed in himself. And critical people have the most criticism reserved for themselves, and they simply reflect out to the whole world their dissatisfaction with themselves by criticizing everyone else, including their own children. So your father, all that criticism he gave to you was about him being dissatisfied with his life. Is that true or false?
It's true.
And now that you know that, what difference does that make for you today, knowing what you know?
I am worthy.
Yeah.
I am capable.
Yeah.
I can breathe on my own.
Yeah, of course you can.
I'm free.
So I want you to go back to the little girl of 6 who's hiding, and I want you to say, with some power in your voice, that's not me.
It's not me.
I don't need to run.
I don't need to run.
I don't need to hide.
I don't need to hide.
I have a voice.
I have a voice.
And I can tell my father to back off.
I can tell my father to back off.
To go away.
To go away.
I can say anything I like to him.
Say anything I like to him.
Because he will never put his hands on me again.
Because he will never put his hands on me again.
And I'm not 6.
Not 6.
And I can fight back.
I can fight back.
I'm smarter than him.
I'm smarter than him.
I know that.
I know that.
He probably knows it too.
Probably knows it too.
I want you to go back to the scene where you're 14 and your father is you can't even breathe as he tells you you're stupid. I want you to go, that's not me.
It's not me.
I'm smart.
I am smart.
I'm smart enough to know better than to call people names.
I'm smart enough to not call people names.
I'm smart enough to not try and diminish someone.
Smart enough to not diminish someone.
Or suffocate someone.
Or suffocate someone.
I'm smarter than my dad.
I'm smarter than my dad.
I don't have to prove anything to him.
And I don't need to prove anything to him.
Or anyone else.
Or anyone else.
I'm free now.
I am free now.
And I want you to imagine putting your arms up, little girl of 6, just holding that little girl in your arms. I want you to imagine taking her back, Megan, to where you live now. Where do you live now?
My house.
Okay, where's your house?
In Austin.
But it's not near your father's house, right?
No.
So imagine taking that little girl back to your house. And I want you to walk her through the door. And I want you to repeat these very words. I want you, as you walk through the door, to say, I'm upgrading you into my world now.
I'm upgrading you into my world now.
And it's a better place.
And it's a better place.
It's a safer place.
It's a safer place.
You live with me.
You live with me.
And I love you.
And I love you.
Cherish you.
Cherish you.
And I'm proud of you.
And I'm proud of you.
And no one
in
the whole world can play this role of loving parent to you.
Play this role of loving parent to you.
Like I can.
Like I can.
I love you exactly the way you are.
I love you exactly the way you are.
I'll always have time for you.
I'll always have time for you.
I'll always listen to you.
And I'll always listen to you.
And I'll always recognize that you're smart.
And I'll always recognize that you're smart.
And free.
And free.
And you're a free person.
And you're a free person.
In a free world.
In a free world.
And I want you to imagine walking that little Megan through your house, showing her your closet where you can wear whatever you like. Even if your father hated it, you can put on anything. It can be outrageous or wacky. You can be anything. I want you to imagine going into your living where you can watch whatever you like. And in fact, you can stay up all night and watch TV because you're a free woman in a free world and you can do whatever you like. You can stay up all night. You can have breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast. I want you to go into the kitchen and see that you can eat whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want. You have a credit card, you drive the car, you are not 6 and you're not 14. I want you to imagine driving the car, thinking, oh, here I am driving my car, that I'm not 6. Here I am taking money out of the bank, do whatever I want with it, because I'm not that 14-year-old girl. Take a minute and really install that little Megan into your world, because when you install her into your world fully, and probably you can never go back into the other world, not even in your daydreams, upgrade her into your world and tell her, I'm upgrading you into my world.
I'm upgrading you into my world.
This is a nicer, safer, freer, funner place. And now that you live with me,
and
in me, now I've created a place in my home.
Now I've created a place in my home.
And in my heart.
For you.
You can never go back to the other world.
You can never go back to the other world.
Not ever.
Not ever.
And you can stand your ground with your dad.
You can stand your ground. With your dad.
Because he's just a flawed person.
Because he's just a flawed person.
Who's disappointed in himself.
Who's disappointed in himself.
He's never been disappointed in you.
He's never been disappointed in you.
He couldn't be disappointed in you.
Couldn't be disappointed in you.
Because you're amazing.
Because you are amazing.
He knows it.
He knows it.
He just can't tell you.
He just can't tell you.
Because your light.
Because your light.
Just makes him feel so dark.
Just makes him feel so dark.
But that's not your problem.
That is not your problem.
And that's not your fault.
That is not your fault.
And you live with me now.
And you live with me now.
And you're safe.
You're safe.
And you're free.
And you're free.
And you can breathe.
And you can breathe.
What else would you like to tell that little girl who's now living in your world, a freer, happier, better place in every possible way? What else would you like to tell her?
You're so worthy. You're so loved.
I want you to say to her, you're so smart.
You're so smart.
You're worthy of everything.
You're worthy of everything.
You're good.
You're good.
You're kind.
You're kind.
You're smart.
And you're smart.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You're everything.
And you are everything.
And you'll always be everything.
You'll always be everything.
And you don't need him to tell you.
You don't need him to tell you.
You need me to tell you.
You need me to tell you.
And I'm going to tell you every day.
And I'm going to tell you every day.
Because it's the truth.
Because it's the truth.
What else do you need to hear?
I can be who I want to be.
Yeah. I wish I could just be myself.
I can be myself.
Because that's good enough.
Because that is good enough.
I'm good just the way I am.
I'm good just the way I am.
I don't have to earn love.
Don't have to earn love.
Or chase love.
Or chase love.
I never have to work for love.
Never have to work for love.
It's available to me all the time.
It's available to me all the time.
Because I'm worthy of it.
Because I am worthy of it.
So just feel that little girl merging into you, almost dropping down and merging into you, taking up residence, living in your body, living in your heart, living in your life. And as I rock your head, you are erasing, eradicating, eliminating, letting go of that old stuff. It's all behind you now. It's out of your life as I rock your head, Megan. You are erasing, eradicating, eliminating, ending anything and everything that could have you feel like that little girl. She is not you, and you are not her. And I want you just once to look over, to look around, to look through that little girl, where she lived, what she lived through. I want you to look over it, around it, and right through it. And as you look over it and around it, so you see the truth. And here is the truth. It will never again, for the rest of your long, gorgeous, amazing, free life, it will never again be relevant or necessary or appropriate. It won't even be interesting for you to ever again think or feel or act as if you were her, because you're not her. You're free. And you can do whatever you want and be whoever you want. And realize that people who criticize are full of criticism of themselves. People who are critical are full of self-criticism. Superior people praise, you go, that's great, you did amazing, didn't have to be perfect, you did your best, it's good. Superior people praise and inferior people criticize. And you're not a critic because you're able to praise yourself and others, and that's the best place to be. So just let it all go. Just let it all go. Just let your mind clear. As you go deeper into an absolutely relaxed state, as you go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, You can again look over and around and through that little child and see, wow, that's not me. I'm free. You're as free as a bird. You can run, jump, sing, laugh. You can be silly. You can be wild. You can be crazy. You can be bad. You can be everything because you are free. And as you look over and around and through the past, that is not you. It can't be. You can't go back and be that girl, even if you wanted to. Because life doesn't go backwards. It goes forwards like an arrow. And just like an arrow, your father was the bow and you left him behind a long time ago. You're free now. And you're free to be you, happy, fun, carefree. You're able to live your life. Know that occasionally you'll be in situations, maybe in an airport, maybe on a plane where someone says, sit down, put on your seatbelt. We'll give you instruction. You know that they really have your interest at heart. You're able to say that's okay. But most of the time you can break rules and do whatever you want. You can have fun. You can be wild. You can do all the things you couldn't do as a kid. Stay up all night. Dress however you want to dress. Be completely inappropriate if it suits you in the safety of your own home. Because you will never, ever, ever again be sick of it. And you'll never again live with your father. You'll never again think that he was so smart, because you know the truth today. He was deeply flawed. And because he was so deeply flawed, he wanted you to be the opposite of imperfect. But you like being flawed. It's what I call being flawsome. You're flawed, I'm flawed, and flawed people can have beautiful flawed relationships when they stop trying to make the other person make up for all their flaws. You can forgive your father. You don't have to, because you're too busy living your life being great. So as you go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, Megan, every single day you are moving on from one phenomenal accomplishment to another. Every day you're moving on from one incredible achievement to another. Every day you accept that you are deeply lovable just the way you are. You never have to earn love, work for love, chase love. It's all around you. And you are worthy of it. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of praise. You are worthy of recognition. You're worthy of care and kindness. And you're worthy of being accepted just the way you are. And you know that. And you let that sink in. That's sinking into the way butter sinks into hot toast. It's sinking in the way lotion sinks into dry skin. You're letting all the good stuff in. And as you let the good stuff in, you're letting all the bad stuff out. So all that doubt, all that need to be perfect, all that need to earn appreciation is going. It's washing off you like water washes off you in the shower. In fact, for the rest of your life, that old behavior will always be one thing, something you used to have that cannot, will not, does not influence you, affect you ever, ever, ever again. It's so far behind you. It's out of your life. It's in the past, and you're not going there. It's out of your life. It's gone. It's like the fumes coming out of a car that you're driving. They're always behind you. And you can't run back and get them even if you want them. It's like the water from the bath or the shower you last took. Behind you, out of your life, never to come back. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. So knowing, Megan, that you are enough, that you matter, that you were a smart kid. When you were 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, you were always a smart, gorgeous kid. Your father just demanded perfection to make up for his imperfections. You can see that he was wrong. And no one can ever do that to you again. You don't mind that he's imperfect. And that's why that was so hard for you to see an imperfect person demanding perfection. That wasn't fair. It was deeply hypocritical. But it's not your life. And it will never, ever be your life again. So knowing it, feeling it, letting it in. Feeling amazing, feeling brave, feeling free, feeling liberated, feeling empowered. Feeling even more free, even more empowered, even more liberated to live your life on your terms, and to stand up to your dad, and to have boundaries that work for you, and to feel great about your life and where you're going and who you're with. When you're ready, just slowly, calmly, easily, just let yourself come back to your full awareness. Just open your eyes, just come back into the room. And just take a deep breath.
How do you feel?
Lighter.
good to be lighter. It's strange to remember that, but it's not remembering, it's remembering what it did to you. But when you remember what it did to you, you think, well, now you can choose to never let it affect you like that ever again.
Yeah.
And does it make sense when you realise that your father's imperfections made him try to make you perfect, even though that's an impossible thing to do? So he wasn't quite as smart as you thought he was. And of course that's probably why he had an affair too, because people are imperfect, always looking for someone to worship them. How do you feel now?
I feel a little dizzy.
Yeah, it's very normal as you let go of stuff to feel a bit dizzy.
I want to throw up.
Sorry?
I feel like I want to throw up.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a huge letting go. Sometimes after hypnotherapy you can feel like you need to pee a lot. Sometimes you get discharge from your eyes and nose, and sometimes you feel like you want to physically throw up, but it's just a massive letting go. And that massive letting go is a sign of how well you've done, because you're bringing all that stuff up and you don't need to keep it anymore.
Feel empty at the same time. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that you've let go of all that stuff that took up so much space. Of course you feel empty because your whole space has been filled with that need to be perfect, to please someone else, when it actually never pleased you. And now you're free. Sometimes freedom feels a bit strange when you've never had it. But it's very nice. You have to thank me. That was so nice of you to do it. You poor thing. Imagine being controlled. But now you understand that your dad just felt flawed.
Yeah, I can see a lot of things like much clearer now.
Check out my next video here.